The crowned one.
The crowned one.
What's up, guys? How's it going? Glad to have you back here at the Crown One. And I've been gone for a while. Something happened in February that just prevented me from doing all the things. I just wasn't feeling well. I'm not even sure what it was whether it was some bug or some type of allergy or whatever what was going on in the month of February. I got the full brunt of it, and thankfully I'm still on the, I would say, the road to recovery. It's not, I won't say I'm not, say about 95, 96%, at least well enough to do another video. So let's get into it. And if you guys are enjoying the content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell for the latest updates and the latest uploads for the latest content. Now, if you saw the thumbnail and you're finding yourself offended, clearly you need to laugh, because I don't think I'm better than you. I just found it funny, and I'm going to stick with it because it's my channel. Now, getting more to the subject at hand, we're talking about how gaming couples seem to be having a much more better time being a couple than I would say couples who don't game. Now, I would not go so far as to say this is hard science, but it was a survey taken between 1,500 adults in Australia between the ages of 18 and 45. Now, according to those findings, couples who game together at least once a week reported relationship satisfaction by a score of 47.3. Now, those couples, inversely, I would say, who rarely never game together score significantly lower at 24 points. Now, the results suggest that shared gaming activities may help strengthen emotional bonds and connections between partners. Now, I can comment this on myself because I married a gamer wife, and I find it totally awesome. Now, I didn't marry her because of gaming. I just like her person altogether. And no, she didn't tell me to say that. And I'm not saying this under duress. I actually love my wife. But we found ourselves, I think we started, we found out early on in the relationship about some of the common associations that we have with one another, likes, dislikes, and what have you. We found out that we like things together more than things we don't like together. And, I put a ring on it. But come to find out, we were also, into gaming. And I want to actually take this to, I'm going to do a little sidebar here. So my wife's heavy into gaming. It's like I am. We kind of fight over, it's playful fight. We're not like gnashing teeth at each other. We kind of fight over the PS5 console, even though she bought it from me for my birthday. But that's neither here nor there. We kind of fight over the console over playing Helldivers 2. Now, we play that together. I play on my PC. She plays on the PS5. But I also have a PS5 profile. So every now and again, I want to play on the console, but she wants to play on her profile. And, I kind of concede because I already got it on the PC. But at any rate, we find ourselves playing Helldivers 2. We definitely play Streets of Rage 4 and some other games. And just to highlight, I would say, the reality of how we enjoy time with one another when we're playing those games. I mean, and we'll go in for a couple of hours, sometimes 3 hours per sitting. And it all depends on what day it is. If, we're just kind of wanted to let our hair down and, game on some Helldivers 2, we'll start doing that game. And then, we kind of go on with the rest of our evening or the rest of our weekend, depending on what day it is. But I would say we find ourselves a little more sociable. We we also have, the mics on when we're playing the video games. We communicate, we navigate through certain circumstances within the video game. And I think that kind of helps out because sometimes there are real life situations where, things may, I would say, kind of hit us up, so to speak. But we learn through continued habits. I would say gaming is a part of it, not the main thing, but part of it. Where we start to navigate again through those tough situations. But, back more to the point. So the impact on quality time, another major takeaway for research is how gaming affects time spent together, which is, what I talked about earlier. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. So couples who regularly game together report spending about 17 hours of quality time together per week. That's a lot of time. Now, again, I got to go on a sidebar because even if we didn't have the gaming, because there have been blackout periods where we haven't gamed in a while, we still like each other. You know what I'm saying? So gaming isn't the only reason. I wouldn't even say gaming is the reason we're together. It's not even part of the reason we're together. It's just one of those associative things that we find that help foster an already budding relationship. And I would even say a mature relationship. So if push comes to shove, we're not able to play those video games, big whoop. We love each other, not because of the games. But back to the subject again. So that's nearly 4 hours more than couples who only game occasionally. The data suggests games may act as a shared hobby that naturally increases time spent together rather than replacing it. Very important. Now, how couples describe the experience. Many couples in the survey describing gaming as a team activity that strengthens communication and cooperation. Very important in a marriage. Cooperative games in particular encourages players to strategize together, adapt to challenges, support each other during gameplay. So I would even go off on a tangent here and talk about Helldivers 2 when we're playing games. Sometimes we kind of go off and do our own thing, but we're still trying to complete the mission as a whole. And if one of us starts to find a struggle between one another, then we'll drop what we're doing and we'll go and help the other person, help them accomplish their goals, and we'll go back to whatever original topic or subject that or mission objective that we were on. And then there are times that she'll help me out on mine, or she'll move on to another objective. But all in all, when push comes to shove, we will provide that assist in those PvE environments. I don't think we've played PvP together. I'm trying to think. I think we tried Call of Duty one time, and if it was, I should remember it, but no, I don't think she's ever played Call of Duty. Yeah. But anyways, so how this fits into the wider gaming culture. Now, the idea of gaming as a social activity has grown significantly over the past decade. I can agree with that. Modern games increasingly emphasize online multiplayer, cooperative gameplay, and shared experiences between players. As gaming becomes more mainstream, many couples now see it as another form of quality time. Totally agree with that. Similar to watching movies or going out together. This shift reflects how gaming has developed from a solo pastime into a shared entertainment experience. And I actually want to touch on this. So let me touch on this first point, the earlier point. As gaming becomes more mainstream, many couples now see it as another form of quality time, similar to watching TV or going out together. And this is one of the gripes that I have with people who are anti-game, and not to be confused with non-gamers. Non-gamers and anti-gamers, two different subject matters. This is me addressing the anti-gamers, those who criticize people who play video games, and say, oh, it's a big, whoop, waste of time, whoopity-doo-dah. You're sitting there, killing brain cells or whatever. Some of you, if you've never grown up in the 80s, to my Gen X's out there, you know what I'm talking about. There were these games out there called Mario Brothers, the original Mario Brothers on the NES. You had Galaga, you had Metroid, you had a Final Fantasy. I'm trying to remember Final Fantasy was similar, but what I'm talking about is if you died, you had 3 lives. If you died, you died. That's it. Game over. You have to start all over from the beginning. It doesn't matter how far you got. And people, it was a little demoralizing. I think Metroid Dread is like that too, because I played that when it first came out on the Nintendo Switch. And I'm trying to remember, I think I had a few lives. I had to get so many lives because if I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, if I would have died, the game would have been over. And I got very far in that game. There were save points. But I think you had to save it in order to go back to your last checkpoint. But I'm getting more to the point of these games taught you resilience and taught you perseverance and conservitude, not to waste your lives. Because if you get to a certain point, you're kind of dallying around, you end up dying, you got to start over, and you start to feel the ramifications of all that labor and toil that you went through, and then having to start over, demoralizing. But it taught us resilience. For those Gen X's out there who know what I'm talking about. I don't know if this generation has kind of experienced that, especially with Fortnite, modern day Call of Duty. We can start where you died, you get infinite lives. online games, you really don't, you die, but you can, respawn. I don't know if this generation or even the previous generation has experienced that 80s style gaming where it was the Thunderdome. But more to a broader subject is that it taught us those grander life skills of perseverance. And then there's also the issue of how people, I'm still talking about the anti-gamers, how they say it's a big waste of time. Well, what about movies? People are binge watching on Netflix 13 episodes in, you know what I'm saying? And some of these episodes are like an hour, 5 minutes long, some 40 minutes, some 20 minutes, but the ones that are much longer, people are binge watching those things. And I'm thinking to myself, you're kind of sitting there letting your brain cook for what, 15 hours in Cheetos and pizza and Mountain Dew, on your 5th pizza, and you just letting your brain cook. And it's like, okay, well, when you're gaming, your brain is engaged. Your brain is being stimulated. You're negotiating different turns. Whatever, you're fighting somebody, you're trying to find out where you are in the virtual geospatial location of where you're at. You're trying to look at the surroundings, how you can use the surroundings to your advantage. But when you're sitting there watching movies and stuff like that, and I'm not bashing movies because obviously I like watching movies. Lord of the Rings is my jam, by the way, and I'm talking about Peter Jackson, Lord of the Rings. And I'm not throwing, what was it, the latter versions with the 5 armies? 5 armies was good, but I'm going on a tangent again. So when we're playing video games, our brains are engaged and we have a chance to negotiate, manipulate whatever the situation is. But when you're watching TV, when you're watching YouTube, kind of like what you're doing right now, you're just kind of sitting there and letting the information pass onto you. And I won't bash it, but to try for the anti-gamers just say that gaming is a waste of time. Well, I think it all depends on the game. That's just my own personal opinion. I think games can be very nurturing, very educational. I learned how to type. If I'm really going in the time machine here, there was this typing gaming program called Mavis Beacon, and my mom, who's still in tech, she showed me how to use that game, and that's how I learned to type. And man, I type rather well. It's allowed me to hold down a job in cybersecurity. If you see my mom type, I think she has like Mutant X gene or something like that, because she types like 120, 130 words a minute. It's insane. But again, talking about games, they are, in my opinion, a benefit to society when it comes to building character, building, those synaptic firings in the brains, making those connections, and understanding how to negotiate difficult situations and even ask for help in certain situations. Back then, we had gaming guides. If we couldn't figure out something, we had a gaming guide. Or if there wasn't a gaming guide, you kind of figured it out and you kind of charted your path, and then you start documenting and you try to make it for other people, easy for other people by letting them know what to do. Think I'm talking my mouth dry. I might need some water. So, what the finding suggests, all in all, while the study doesn't claim gaming is guaranteed relationship solution, it highlights how shared hobbies can strengthen emotional connections. Activities that encourage collaboration, communication, and mutual enjoyment often help couples maintain stronger bonds. In that case, gaming may simply be another example of a broader relationship principle. Couples who actively spend time doing things together tend to report a higher satisfaction. And I would like to submit gaming into the lexicon archives. So with that being said, I hope you guys are enjoying the content. It's good to be back. Still trying to get the rest of the grogginess out. Like I said, it's not affecting me so much, but it's really just, congestion, as you can see. But I'm going to power through. You guys have a wonderful, happy St. Patrick's Day. And that's it. Guys, stay easy. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification bell for the latest updates on the latest uploads for the latest content. This is Crown One signing off, and I'll talk to you guys later.